Good afternoon, traders. This is Sarah Schoonmaker, 7 Points Capital, bringing today's takeaway. Let's go jump right into the market and see what happened. Looks like we had another day where we just kind of take off, and even though there was China news, China trade war news and more tariffs, just as usual, the SPY rallies, and looks like we are still hanging out at all-time highs. So it'll be interesting to see if we can break above today's high, which is 291.50, or see if we, if we break down through the low, that's 289, around 289.50. So this will be an interesting range to see how we can trade tomorrow. So market was pretty strong. I was looking at AMD to start. This has been on a tear lately, and looks like it's kind of it's just kind of hanging out. I was looking for some kind of sell off at some point. It was actually weaker than the market. SPY was really rallying at this point, and AMD is going down. So I decided to try a little short, and then covered. I was just kind of scalping this one. Covered, tried a little again as it continued down the trend. Covered a little, just been scalping. So this one was more weaker than the other stocks I was looking at. Most things were green this morning. Everything on my watch list was gapping up and looking pretty strong, except for AMD and maybe BABA. So I tried a little short here, and then at the same time, I was trying to short NVDA. They kind of tend to go together, AMD and NVIDIA. So tried a little short, didn't really work. So I got out, and then I tried again at this 278 level. I think it was having a hard time here, so and this actually ended up being a really good trade. I didn't really expect this to come in so much, but AMD was pretty weak, so I finally got this move, but it took a little bit. Didn't happen until after 10 o'clock. So this is a nice downtrend. Never got back above VWAP. I like to look for that. And yeah, it just kind of based around here. So this is on my radar. We'll see where it goes next. I like to trade AMD and NVIDIA. They kind of have a nice range. So around this time, I was also watching BABA because it's been weaker, especially the China names are under some heat. I noticed in pre-market it was down. It had a little spike off the open, but that's really all it could give us. So that's the only strength it had today. Comes back, I tried to buy a little. I thought, oh, well, let's see if this can hold and get going. Like the whole market, the SPY is ripping at this point. This should be going. So, and it's not. So it's showing a lot of relative weakness. I decided to try some short after, deciding that the testing long positions were just not working out. So shorted some here and then just kind of let it fade. It just slowly faded into the noon hour. So I got out and covered around noon. And just let it go. So this has been really weak. I think on the daily, it'll be interesting to see where this goes next. So that's kind of hanging out. And I think the next interesting level is 152. So see if it can hold that. Not sure. If not, then stay short. That's kind of my game plan. Or see if I can get a nice long play if it decides to bounce. It's kind of had a nice run up to 168, but this is pretty weak, so might be ready for a bounce around 152. We'll see. Another name I was playing had earnings, FedEx. It's a great company. I didn't expect this to get punished so much for decent earnings, but I just kind of watched it. It didn't really give any good opportunity to get in short. It just went straight down. So I was looking to maybe possibly buy a bounce. And it just didn't. It just never recovered. So I decided, all right, it's going to be weak. It's breaking. This is a bearish, flag. It's breaking this channel. Going to go short. So shorted quite a bit here, covered here, and then tried to buy back. Bought some shares here, took some off, bought some back. So I wasn't really sure. I was getting a little nervous. It was going down pretty fast. So took a little off, but then realized it was holding this level. So I bought, and it had a nice run, but then I just, the SPY was selling off. It just couldn't get going. this was having a hard time. So I was looking a little weak again. I decided to short as it failed against the VWAP. And yeah, I actually didn't expect this to be so weak. So yeah, this was a nice short into the close. So the next stop, let's look at the daily for FedEx. Where are we at? Yeah, wow. So I like day 2 earnings. I'll see where this goes tomorrow. Maybe look for a bounce at some level. It's already at a big daily level, so see if it holds there or if it wants to retest around down here. So that's on my radar. I like to trade those. And then the other one was the Viking Therapeutics. This had, I guess, positive drug news. It was up a huge amount, gapped up. I think several people had some great trades on the desk this morning, just shorting, maybe even pre-market and then off the open for sure as it failed VWAP. This would be, I imagine, I think several people shorted here and did pretty well. I was pretty late to the game. I was busy with other stocks and decided to try to short late in the game. I thought I would just join the trend and maybe this would continue down into the afternoon, but it didn't. It held, and it was looking like buyers are coming in. So I decided to get out of this little tester short and tried to buy some here. Took a little off. I wasn't sure. I took a little off, bought some. You know, I'm just trying to scalp a little bit. Wasn't really working that much. It's a pretty choppy stock, so I had a hard time staying in. I wasn't really sure of the trend, but as it's channeling here, I think it's a good setup actually for a long to see if it breaks this, then buy. So which I did, but it was starting to come back, and I was getting a little. I wasn't really sure. This one's pretty spike. It spikes quite a bit. So I was having a hard time with it, but then I decided to short against the VWAP. This was a pretty big move, and got a really nice fade into the close. This is the close. So I took it off. So this turned out to work out. This will be a stock on my list tomorrow. It moves quite a bit with all this news, so it's kind of fun to trade. Just hope to get on the right side of it tomorrow and have a cleaner move. So that's it. So yeah, thanks for listening. Definitely check out our YouTube channels and Twitter. Send us comments, questions. We love to interact with you and hear what you're thinking, and just share us your ideas as well. So have a good evening, guys, and I look forward to chatting with some of you soon.